Hello everyone, today we're going to be taking a look at implementing CropperJS into a Ruby on Rails application. This will allow you to do a whole bunch of image manipulation, but in this video I really just want to focus on how to get it set up and working with Active Storage so that you can drag around one of these little boxes and find something to crop, and then you can get your cropped canvas similar to this. But instead of doing a pop-up, we'll submit it to the database so that we can save our cropped image. If we come over to the demo application here, I have my lovely cat Percy staring me in the face, and you can see sort of how this works. Basically, let's just click on one of these to focus on it, we get the little draggable thingy. We can then highlight a section of the image that we would like to crop. We click crop, and then it updates in real time, but in the back end, it also adds the files to the database. And then if we come over to here, we can now refresh, and this should hopefully continue to show us his face. And just as proof of this, we'll go ahead and we'll crop it down here so that he's completely out of the image. We'll click crop, and then if we refresh, you'll see that that sticks around just like that. And there's your cropped image. The nice thing about this is because you keep the original, you can always recrop the image if you're so inclined. So to get started, we're going to do a Rails new video, and I'm going to pass in a -j of ES build. We can go ahead and run this. We're going to cd into our video, and then we'll just go ahead and we'll set this up real quick. So to do this, we need to do a Rails active_storage :install command. I remembered that it doesn't need the G this time. We can then do a Rails G scaffold. We'll call this photos, and we'll give each photo just a name for now. We can go ahead and run that. After we have that, we can now do a code dot to open this up in VS Code, and then we can do a Rails G stimulus for the images controller, which we'll use for our JavaScript. At this point, we can do our yarn add, and we want to add CropperJS, and I think it was actually CropperJS latest. So let me go up a bit to find out what the command was. Because it was, yeah, CropperJS at next was the one that I used. So we can go ahead and run that one. Then we can go ahead and exit out of here. Sorry, I don't quite remember. You can see a bunch of jQuery stuff in there because I was trying to find the version that didn't have jQuery and was also the newest one. But now we come into our gem file. We scroll down to the bottom because once again, I have to fix the Foreman issue because I'm on Ruby 2 or Ruby 3.2. And it doesn't have an updated version of Foreman yet, so we add this to our gem file, grab it from the main branch, run a bundle, and that installs the gem. After that's done, we can now come into our app, our models, and our photo.rb. Let me hit Control+1 so we can actually read what we're doing in here. Inside of our photo.rb model, all we really want to do is tell it that it has two attached things. One's going to be an image, and one's going to be an attached cropped image. We can then come up to our controllers, our photos controller. This is going to be similar to the real-time drawing application we made in Action Cable the other day where we saved the canvas. So what we did there was we created a custom method, and we told it that the permission or the parameters we're expecting here are an image and a cropped image. So we just save both of those, and then we come up here and we create the method. Now, thankfully, someone in the comments, I don't quite recall who, but they mentioned that there's an easier way to create the image and attach it. So we're going to give that a shot today. And the way that we do that is we grab the @photo in our croppable, and we could also just call set photo here if we were so inclined. So up here we have our set photo. We could just add the croppable method here. That's probably a cleaner way to do this. So I'll just get rid of this. We can then come, oops, not that. We can then come into here, get rid of the @photo, and then we can do a @photo dot cropped image dot attach. Sorry, I just wrote this code like 10 minutes ago. And then here, let me hit F11 because it's a longer one. You can pretty much do nothing of what GitHub Copilot just suggested. So instead of doing a file open, we're going to do a string io.new with a base64.decode64. We take in the photo params of the cropped image because this is in the photo params, and then we have to grab this field in here. We then do a dot split, grab the first, or I guess the second element of the array. We then tell it has a file name and a content type of JPEG or whatever. So this is going to depend on whatever file type you'd want to use in the future. In my case, I'm just kind of hard coding this. So this takes care of that. We can now come down here, clean this up, and I think at this point we should be good to go in our controller. So next, let's come down to our config and our routes.rb. Inside of our routes, what we want to do is we want to keep the resources, but we also want to define a patch route for croppable ID, which takes us to the photos croppable action as croppable_path. And then we set the route to be the photos index action. You now come over here, and if we do a bin/dev, we should be able to go to localhost port 3000. It'll tell us to run our migrations. We click the gray button, and then I can zoom in a bit so you can actually see what we're doing. We'll come in here, and the first thing we'll notice is we don't have the form. So let's go into our views, our photos, and our form. Inside of our photo form, all we really want to do is just tell it that we have a image file field right here. So we can go ahead and save that. Now let's come into our photo.html.erb. And in here, what we're going to be doing is first things first, we have to create declare the image URL and the cropped image URL. I'm not doing this in the controller just because I'm going to be using these in the partial wherever we render them. So when we go to the index page, you'll be able to see each of the images as well as their cropped variants. So that's why we do it inside of this. You could probably still do it in the controller or in the index action. I just prefer to do it here because I make these videos in like 10 minutes. But okay, after we have that, we can then create the content tag for our croppable stuff. So to do this, it's going to be a content tag. Once again, we're using Ruby for this. So we create a div. It's just a basic div with nothing in it. Oops. And then we give it some data. The data has a controller of images, which correlates to the JavaScript. So app JavaScript controllers images controller that we created earlier with our stimulus call. We then give it a images_URL. The images part is important. It needs to match the controller name so that when we're in the images controller, we can just access the URL. And then we pass in this image URL that we defined up here, which we only use if the image is attached to the photo. We then declare a photo ID, which is pretty self-explanatory. After that, we come down here and we create a container. We call this the image container, and then we close the image container. And this was the first part of annoyance here as I tried to figure out how to get these images to be properly sized. So in here, we create an image tag with a image URL. We pass it a class of image. Again, this image URL is right up here. Pass it a class of image. We give it an ID of source and a data of images_target. Again, it needs to know what controller. The target is just a keyword in stimulus and then source. And this allows us to do something like source target in our stimulus controller to get access to this target. Okay, so that's that. Real quick before we add the rest of this, let's come up to our assets, our style sheets, our application.css. We do apologize. We do have to look at a little bit of styling here. The way that I got the images to style themselves was not to do any of the stuff that was recommended in any of the GitHub issues. I actually just straight up grabbed the class of image container, which then has a cropper-canvas inserted into it for some reason. And then I just set that to use the CSS that was recommended to be put on the images. So again, I don't know if this is the appropriate approach. It was just the one that I came up with. So yeah, apologies if it's not correct. It's just what worked for me. In the words of my Java professor, works on my machine, dude. So after we do that, we can then come below the image here, the image tag. We throw in a button to with the word crop. We don't have a link anywhere. We give it some data. The action is a onClick, and onClick we want to go to the images controller, again this JavaScript controller, and a click method in there that we haven't defined yet. We then also give it a images_target, just like the last one, but here we call it crop button so that we can access the button. And then we just tell it has a method of get. I don't remember if that was necessary. Again, not a lot of brain cells went into this one. It was mostly just throwing head at keyboard until something worked. We then create one last images container. This one has the cropped image URL that we defined up here, which is just for a cropped image instead. And one thing to note is we probably want to refactor these as well to make sure that we aren't passing a empty image in here. So let's maybe just take this and let's copy it into here. And wherever we see cropped image, we'll just replace it with image, just like this. There we go. And now we can come down here. We have the cropped image URL. We have the class of image, the ID of output, and the image's target of output. Okay, so that's all of that. Now we can come into our images controller and our stimulus, and this will be our last stop here. So real quick, I just want to refresh, give this a name of test. Let's upload a picture. Let's grab this Minecraft terrain. We'll click upload. It's going to look a little bit stretched just because of how the CSS looks, but this should work just fine. So that takes care of that. I'm going to hit Control-Shift-I, and I'm actually going to move this over to the side for now so that we can keep an eye on this. And now let's come down to our images controller. I'll hit F11, and we can get started. So first things first, we want to import CropperJS. Then we want to declare our static list of targets, which was the source, the output, and the crop button that we just defined over here. So we have the source, crop button, and output right here. That's what it correlates to. And that just allows us to reference them. Next, we come in here and we create a source target event listener. Again, this is the source. It's in the target, so we use this .source target. We say on load, tell it to console log image loaded, and then call a method called create cropper. Now down here, we create the cropper method, which did have a whole bunch of stuff you could define in it. But the key takeaway was that we assign a variable to this .cropper, which is a new cropper. It takes in a image or a canvas. And again, this source target corresponds to this source target right here, which is a image. How convenient. And then after we create the image and we assign it the image, we pass it the image right here, it then takes a set of options. These options, there's a whole bunch of stuff that you can find on the GitHub page, which I'll have a link to in the video description. I don't know how many of these work, but these were the settings that worked for me to get the functionality that I like. Again, you can tweak these as you see fit. Some of them work, some of them don't. I could also just be doing it all wrong. Okay, but now we have to create our onClick method, which we'll do right here. Oops. And in here, what we do is we say prevent default. We create a, well, I guess we do a this.outputs right here. So we do a this.outputs target.source, and we set this equal to this.cropper. And this is where things get a little bit weird. Basically, all of the documentation here seemed to indicate that you either had to do a .get cropped canvas, which even GitHub Copilot, for some reason, insists that this is the method. But what I actually found was that there is a get cropper selection method, which allows us to get the box or the square that appears on here. If I come over here, that's what this selection box is, I guess. And then from this get cropper selection, we can then do a $to canvas. And then from here, you can do a then, because that returns a promise, or you can pass in a canvas and you can say this.output target.src is equal to canvas.toData URL. And then in here, you can do a this.post2API, which is a method we're creating right now, where we pass in the canvas to data URL. Again, I don't know if this is the right approach. This is just the one that worked for me. So essentially what we're doing is up here, we're creating the cropper component. Here, we're creating the onClick for our button. And then down here, we'll just create that post2API method, which for now, we'll just leave empty. So once we do all of this, let's come over here and let's refresh the page. We now get this cool little crop box thing. And you can see here that our sides are kind of messed up again. That's probably because I'm zoomed in super far. There we go. So now we can click this, we can click crop, and I guess it's already copying it to the output. The thing is, if we come over to here and we refresh, we can refresh. There we go. If we do this and then we click crop, we'll see that we're saying active record not found, couldn't find photo with an ID of blah, 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 blah. Nobody cares. So what we have to do is when we call this post to API, grab the photo ID. Let me hit F11 actually. And then we want to grab the data URL, which is just our cropped data. I just changed this a little bit to match up what we had in our drawing tutorial. That way I could reuse some of the code. So I do apologize for that. But essentially you could just use this cropped data instead of redefining it. To me, it just made sense to keep things a bit more consistent. So in here, we go to the croppable path, pass in the photo ID. We then have a method of patch, which matches our routes patch method right here. We then have our headers, which are required to get the content type of application JSON because we're making an API request. And we get the CSRF token, which is our cross-site request forging token, I think, which we get from our document by calling a query selector where we grab the meta CSRF token and then we grab the content from it. If you're not familiar, I'll hit F11 here. I'll go over to the elements in the head up here. You can hopefully see if I move this up a bit. If you scroll down, we have the meta with the name of CSRF token with some content, and it has the token in there. So that's why we call the CSRF token and then the dot content at the end of it. So that's what we're doing there. After we create the headers, we can then do a body JSON.stringify. This is not correct. But in here, we have to create a photo. And then inside of that photo, because we need this to match our required parameter of photo. And then in here, we can do the cropped image is the data URL that we defined earlier. So that passes it back to our photos controller. That comes into our croppable. Our croppable tries to decode this from the cropped image parameter, which is right here, which is nested inside of our photo. And then we save it. And at this point, we should hopefully have a working product. So let's come over here, refresh. We'll select this little section with the lava here. Maybe let's just zoom in real tight on the lava. We'll click crop. You can see that worked. We can come into here. We don't have any errors in our console. And if we minimize this, hopefully we see a update, which is always in yellow text. And now if we come over here and we refresh, you'll see that that sticks around. We can come up here, crop this, refresh, crop the lava again, refresh, come back here, and this works just fine. We can now create a new photo. We'll do a choose file. Let's grab, I don't know, let's grab Velvet instead of Percy this time. We'll say Velvet. We'll create the photo. That creates it. We'll grab her face and we can have shocking meme faces generated for us. But yeah, hopefully this was interesting. Hopefully this was helpful, and hopefully I will see you in the next tutorial.